what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Tasca Buick GMC in Palm Harbor, and guess what? We have the big boy for you. This is the largest one. This is a 2025 changed up refresh GMC Yukon. This one is the Denali trim, and like I said, this is the biggest of the big. This is the Denali XL. But before we get into this super size, super SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So GMC, they're going through their lineup, they're making some big changes. One of their vehicles, which is their best selling, is the Yukon. And obviously, many different ways to get your Yukon, especially with new Denali Ultimate and even AT4 Ultimate trims for 2025. Now, this Denali brings a lot of the usual touches that you expect from a high luxury trim, but is it the best new luxury full-size SUV, especially if you compare it to something like an Expedition Max? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our updated Yukon Denali XL and find out. Right off the bat, the sheer size of this thing is mega size, and if you want the largest SUV that GMC offers currently, this is the one. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see an all new refresh on the style. New headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. I really love the way they have that new interpretation of the C-shape interlocking front fascia with the headlight housing itself. They stack everything up in a nice vertical level there. And then of course with that large LED daytime running lamp and turn signal really gives it a nice look. Now as we drop down, you do get a little bit of gloss black, but the good news is you have a functional LED fog lamp. And of course, when you go Denali trim, you also get a little bit of the shiny stuff. Now, I'm very happy to report that they kind of turned the knob, the volume knob down just a little bit on how bright some of these finishes are. So instead of getting bright chrome, it's a little bit darker of a tinge, more of like a polished aluminum. So I do like the way that they did that with a little bit of gloss black. Now, as we come across that front grille, General Motors Truck Company, you have that dark cherry red badging on the GMC. You'll notice, like I said, it's more of a hand-polished aluminum finish rather than a bling-blinging shiny chrome. You do have your forward-facing camera. And then as we work our way down to ground level, more of that aluminum finish, and then you do have these fake vents here, which are functional if you go diesel, because remember, you still get 3 engine options if you go with the Yukon. Diesel, they're functional. On this 6.2 liter V8, they're non-functional. So I am gonna zonk that. They should just be functional all the way across. Love the way they worked the aluminum on the lower lip, and then even the way they did the nice design all the way on the bottom. They really left no stone unturned. And if you compare this to, say, a Suburban, Chevy has a totally different design philosophy. Even though they're siblings under General Motors, totally different design philosophy. And if you compare this to the new Expedition, I still like the look of these GMCs. This is really, for me, the right kind of style for a large SUV. Now, as we take the elevator up, big, bold aircraft carrier style hood. I love the way they do the indentations. And on GMCs, everything has a little bit of an angle to it, a little bit of a edge, which I really think kind of fits it very well. Now, as we come around the bend, I know we've talked about 24-inch wheels on the new Yukons, but this one has a 22-inch wheel, and I actually like this better. A little bit more rubber for a sidewall where the tires wrapped around, and I think that these V-spoke wheels, I don't know, it's sort of like with the grille. I feel like a lot of people find chrome to be fuddy-duddy. These wheels definitely are not fuddy-duddy. Very, very sporty and very modern. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tires wrapped around these wheels? 275 on the width, 50 series sidewall, and of course for 2025, they even went through and did some work with the suspension all four corners, especially that magnetic ride suspension. So we're up to magnetic ride 4.0 on the different GM vehicles. But let me know what you think about this particular one with the optional black wheels. This is part of the reserve package. I think that's a package that I would check the box for. Now coming down the rest of the vehicle, very tasteful GMC badge, not meant to look like a vent or anything like that. You're gonna get color matched on your mirror caps, our 360-degree cameras, and then you have that Denali badge, very prominent on the side. This particular model has fixed running boards. I'm okay with that because they don't stick out too far, and I like the way they did a little bit of gloss black rather than more aluminum. But like I was saying, XL, this is the longer version. So this would basically be a Chevrolet Suburban. There's a Tahoe, there's a Suburban. When you look at GMC Yukons, you have a Yukon and you have a Yukon XL. This is the XL. Now on the trim on the doors, you do have some color match on the door handles, but there is some shiny chrome bits. You have some bright shiny metalwork that goes around the top and the bottom of the window frames, and those silver aluminum roof rails. Of course, you could get the accessories, the crossbars, the cargo baskets, all those things for your family road trip. As we work our way towards the rear, when you go with the XL, you're gonna get obviously an even larger rear quarter window. And I like the way that the trim doesn't go around the whole quarter window. Keeps just a nice cleaner appearance. As we swing it around back, what do we got going on? So just like up front, we have changes to the look. You have updated style to the taillights, full LED. I've always liked how on Yukons, no exposed wiper. It's tucked high out of the way. Even the way they now bring some of that silver trim, the aluminum style trim to the center here with the Denali name. And then of course, working our way down the ground level, we have our quad tip exhaust, staggered tip exhaust with that roundish square opening. And then when you go with any of the Yukons, no matter what engine you go with, you got plenty of towing capability, and underneath this plastic cover is the receiver for all your towing accessories. But why don't we go ahead, we got the big boy, let's go open up the hood and see what's powering it. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have the hood struts now. Like I said, there's still 3 different engine options when you go with a Yukon. The 5.3, you can also get the 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel engine. Ours has the tried and true 6.2-liter V8. That's 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. It does do 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, has a top speed that's governed to 112 miles an hour, and it gets all that power through a 10-speed automatic transmission with our 4-wheel drive. It's got a 2-speed transfer case, can tow up to 8,200 pounds, MPGs 14 in the city, 18 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs right around 6,100 pounds. Now, great to see that you still get a lot of flexibility when it comes to the options, but why don't we go ahead, since we got the 6.2-liter V8, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 GMC Yukon Denali XL. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been waiting for you to bring out these GMC SUV reviews because I love GMC. My parents actually procreated, and I was the product of that procreation in the back bed of a GMC pickup truck. So that's how important GMC is to my family. But how much is this? Because I know vehicles are expensive today. How much is this particular one? So this particular one with the reserve package, which gets you the wheels and a lot of other goodies, you're looking at an MSRP of $88,000. It's a lot of money, but let's see if you get a lot of SUV. To the door panels, you'll notice some new trim style. Up top, that's real open pore wood, Let me know what you think about the fade from natural wood to flat black stain wood. It almost looks like somebody took a can of spray paint and did that in their backyard. I wish it was just all black. I'm not digging the fade to black setup there. And I'm a big AC/DC fan and still not digging it. Now, you do have a little bit of gloss black. You shouldn't be touching it too much around that door handle. I like the way they did the stitching on the nice soft armrest, and that's all soft touch material, the stitching up top. And then of course in the center you have the Yukon Denali Twinkie holder, 7 Twinkies, and then down below you could easily get a foot-long sub from Subway, Steven's favorite, meatball, extra parm, and an extra ball in there, an extra meatball. And of course, you can put a bottle of Shasta orange soda in there. You got the Bose sound system, 20 over 20 speakers, and then going from the door panel to the dash, more of that open pore wood. Still not a fan. I don't know what's going on here. Does it just get a little burnt or something? Not my favorite idea. On the side, you do have a nook here for some Nature Valley granola bars. Just make sure you have a napkin because they're going to make a mess all over the place. And I do like the stitching that they did. Come on in. There it is. That's the all-new infotainment system screen. Love the way it's integrated. That's a 16.8-inch screen. Absolutely fantastic. They do a great job at all of the GM vehicles when it comes to things like cameras. Very clear resolution. You can look down, you can look all the way around, every which way angle. Look how clear the cameras are. I love it. Love how good the cameras are in here. You got all your usual apps. You can get into your climate control. Nice full color. Of course, you're going to have ambient lighting and all those other goodies. I'm wanting to scroll sideways. Remember, this is a portrait style, so don't be like me. Scroll up and down, which is what you're supposed to do. But nice to have the different apps. We could go back to home. I could pull up this. Look at the way you could organize all your information. And you're going to want to know where the gas stations are because of 14 miles per gallon in this big bad mamma jamma. And then we're right back where we started. You have a real volume knob, real deal. Everything else is in the screen here. So you do have in the screen your heated seats and ventilated seats, but you'll notice that you also do get some toggle switches for the AC control. So I'm at least glad that they decided to do that. You have a bright silver aluminum start-stop button. And the way that they flank the infotainment system on both sides with the AC vents, it's just a very nice touch. A lot of gloss black here, but I think most people are going to do this. You're going to have this open for your 2 cup holders, and then you're going to slide that open because that's where your wireless charging is. USB-C, USB-A. I like the open pore wood. Like I said, I'm not digging the black portion to it. More leather all over this armrest with the Denali badge. Open it up. What do we have? We have some special paperwork, and you have enough room in there. I would easily say you could put 2 Long John Silver tackle boxes. You get yourself some hush puppies, some French fries. That's why I'm taking Steven for lunch after this. Another thing is, look, we got the slider. So let's say you got your big merce, your purse, your sack, your satchel, or you have something you want to hide from the popo. I'm not going to say what those things are. That's your business. You have your little hidden compartment there. Obviously, once they bring the dog out, they're going to find it. But at least you got that for a little while. But like I said, that's your business. Almost forgot. Steven almost made me forget. Check this out. Press this button. This is all new. You get a nice compartment with felt lining. You can put your Rolexes in here. And then I also like the way it's a stepped dash, give better visibility for the passenger. Speaking of the passenger, just like what I'm sitting on, these leather seats with the piping, the Denali name embroidered, and then all that great stitching. You have full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. Get ready for this one. This is a big zonk. This is bigger zonk than the wood zonk. No sunroof. Not a panoramic sunroof. Not a regular sunroof. Not even a periscope. Not even a ceiling light. Nothing. It's incredible on a Denali trim. Don't get it. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you behind the wheel in this new Denali Yukon. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have the Denali name that's going to greet you every time that you open up the door. And then You do have your switchgear with the nice silver trim. Perfect placement for any body type. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, especially without a sunroof. Steering wheel, love the leather, love the simplicity in the horn button with your Denali name there. Flat black on the switchgear. It is a heated steering wheel. You do have plastic paddles that go through the 10-speed automatic, and then you do have an electric tilting and telescoping wheel. Over here is where you're going to find your 4x4 controls, mode selection, and then there's that beautiful new digital gauge cluster. Love the way you can go through different information in the center, including the map. That's really, really nice technology. And you have a head-up display. And remember, all Yukons have the shifter, it's an electric shifter, back on the steering column to kind of free up this whole area. And that's the 10-speed automatic. Let's go ahead, let's get in the mid-row and the third row and see if this Yukon Denali is any good. All right, guys, back seat time. The good news is there's a lot of room back here. The bad news is there's no rear seat entertainment. So if you do have kids, and I'm going to say you probably do if you're getting one of these, maybe you just want the largest vehicle. Hey, some people are into that. I have no problem with that whatsoever, but there isn't any rear seat entertainment. Now the good news is you could bring your own rear seat entertainment. Bring some books, bring some Mad Libs, bring some coloring books. Get the kids off the screens. There's too many screens. I got a 16.8-inch screen in here. We don't need their damn iPads in here and all the other crap. I like the way you got a nice command center, 2 cup holders, you got your rear AC control. The one thing is, only heated seats, no ventilated seats for the back seat passenger. Plus I want to clean this, it's a little dirty. We do have home power source and the USB-Cs, which are great. And then of course, sitting here, feel good. I love all the soft touch material. Captain's chairs, and that's how you make a proper armrest, everybody. Not the little thin toothpicks that we see on a lot of other brands. These are a beefy armrest, and I freaking love it. Nice soft leather. We're gonna go ahead and get into the back. Now, of course, the seats do slide, and they do recline as well. Now we're gonna get into the back. And hopefully I don't whip myself in the face like I usually do. There we go. Look how easy that is. Come on in. How you been? Village Inn. We got tons of room. This is, I feel spoiled back here. Look how low my knees are. USB-Cs, even some soft material on the armrest, and they do the same great leather quality, not cheap vinyl back here. But why don't we go ahead? You think this is big? I'm going to show you something big in that cargo area. All right, guys, we got a large SUV. That means not only is it large on the outside, but look at this cargo area. It's going to blow your mind. So you push the button, nice electric assist. Of course, that rear glass opens up as well. If you don't want to pop the whole hatch, you're going to be greeted to with the third row up. This is just flat out crazy. You're looking at 42 cubic feet of space with the third row up. We have a nice array of gizmos and gadgets. We have a home power source. Of course, we have our switch gear to fold down the seats. Underneath, a little bit of storage. You could at least get, I would say, you could put maybe 36 Twinkies, some Star Crunch, and then fill up the rest with my personal favorite, which are Nutter Butters. I freaking love Nutter Butters. To put the third row down, it's a 60-40 split. Just hit that button. Look how fast they go down. Wow. And then, of course, you put that mid-row down, you could turn this into a mobile apartment. It's 145 cubic feet of space with that mid-row down. And we actually did a fun little thing. What happened was Steven was having some work done to his home, and I happened to have a Yukon Denali XL as a press suite vehicle, and he actually got an air mattress and slept in it overnight while they were doing the work to his house. So the proof is in the eating of the pudding by Steven. But let's go ahead. It's not just about the space. We got a V8 underneath the hood. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle and see how this new Yukon Denali does the business. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 GMC Yukon Denali XL. Right away, I love how this new interior has been updated and arranged. Getting to that 16.8-inch infotainment system screen is well within reach. And I love the way that it's integrated in the dash. And I'm the type of person, I don't need screens across the whole area. I really don't. The way that you're able to use all the electric seat controls, steering wheel controls, and everything to get it to perfectly fit to your body is fantastic. You got that nice new large digital gauge cluster. And you'll be surprised, this vehicle, even though it's as large as it is very easy to drive. Very easy to drive. You got your head-up display. And having the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive really kind of allows you to have everything that you need, whether you're going to tow, whether you're going to go on an off-road trail, whatever you're thinking of doing with this vehicle, you can do it because of the way that it's optioned. You just don't have a sunroof, which I'm still in shock. 10-speed shifts nice and smooth. And even things like the thickness of the steering wheel, they got everything right in here. It feels really, really fantastic. You got that compartment up top for your Rolexes. And then you got all the other room in here, which is just so very usable. If you have not driven a Yukon, it's gonna surprise you. What I like about it better than the Expedition is the linear torque delivery from the naturally aspirated V8, because remember, the Expedition has that twin turbo V6. And I just love the way that it just drives down the road. Very, very smooth, very composed, very comfortable, very quiet. GMC has definitely done the work with this vehicle to make it as good as it is. And then the fact that I could take the navigation if I need to and bring it over to my screen, I could do that and still have the accessibility of everything else with the Amazon Alexa, the Google Assistant, all those different things with this setup. But man, cruising down the road is just very, very comfortable, very smooth. Visibility is fantastic in here. And just every time I get behind the wheel of one of these Yukons, it just reminds me of how much I like them. Let's see how they handle into this right-hand bend. Nice and composed. 10-speed drops down, is not chasing through the gears. So the 10-speed really communicates well with the 6.2 liter V8. Remember, your other options in a Yukon is a 5.3 liter V8 and of course the 3 liter Duramax turbo diesel engine. But man, oh man, it's interesting because a lot of the other brands, especially Ford, has done a lot of changes to the Expedition for 2025. This is more of a refresh, but the changes that they made are just so huge. It almost feels like a totally new Yukon. But it also feels familiar, and that's what I love about it. It's like putting on your favorite Jordans. And then of course at the end of the day, you're gonna get all the safety features. You got all the great camera angles, nice clear resolution. And just you know, the way the suspension has been tuned just offers such a great ride. We're gonna see how the on throttle goes here in a split second. All right, you ready? Because I'm ready. On throttle, here we go, look at this. It's got the power, man. I mean, talk about hauling the mail. This thing hauls the mail plus some. And then you have your different modes. So you could go into your tow mode, you could go into sport mode. It all shows up on the screen nicely. And just allows you to select what kind of driving dynamics do you want from your Yukon. But no matter if you're going on throttle from a roll or a dead stop, this thing gets up and goes. I mean, 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds is nothing to laugh about. especially for a vehicle that weighs almost 6,100 pounds. I wouldn't call that a lightweight. But just like I said, always a pleasure to get behind the wheel of one of these Yukons, especially a Denali trim. But don't you worry, I'll be bringing the other trims as well. But I hope that this has been a good overall review of the refresh changes and how it drives, of course. We're gonna get back to Tasca Buick GMC Palm Harbor and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here at Tasca Buick GMC in Palm Harbor. Definitely got to thank Dean and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2025 Yukon Denali XL. Let me know what you think. Has GMC made the right changes for 2025? Is this the best new luxury full-size SUV that you would want to get? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rides family. Gotta thank Stephen Flood. He's getting XL in the gun department with his huge biceps, triceps, and all the other muscles that he's focusing on. Thank you, Stephen, for not doing the roids. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.